joining me. Today, we're going to talk about how to generate the very best leads without breaking your bank account. Now, I know many of you are frustrated because you don't have a great lead generation system and you're just not doing as well as you are hoping to. So we're going to help you here today get your head around what good marketing looks like without you having to spend a fortune. Okay, so as you know, I don't believe or preach door knocking or cold calling or wasting money on pretty boy advertising that might feed your ego, but it doesn't feed your bank account. We have to understand that you're a marketer first before you're a real estate agent. You know, there's many really experienced, really competent real estate agents that are starving to death today because they don't know how to attract clients. Now, I'm not suggesting that that's not important. It's good that you're experienced and you're skilled at what you do. However, you can be skilled and experienced and really care about your clients and still be broke as a real estate agent. Let me use a restaurant example. How many of you have been to a restaurant before where the food's really good? It might be like a hole in the wall, and you kind of just discover this place, and the food and the service is excellent, right? But a month later, they're out of business. You see, the restaurant owner thought, if we have great food and we have great service, that should be enough. It isn't, okay? Obviously, the restaurant needs to attract customers first. I'm not saying having good food and I'm not saying having good service isn't important. It is, but we have to understand you are a marketer first. Now, your experience might be, well, marketing something that's kind of a waste of my money, waste of my time. I'm generating bad leads. We're going to figure that out today. But let's first of all have everyone check in. Check in the comments below. Let me know what marketplace you're in. I'll tell you how I can help you. I can get you a lot of referrals inside Craig Proctor Nation. Type in your name and the city that you serve. I don't get any part of it. We just send the referrals out. As you can see, we've got thousands of people that follow me. Thousands of people will watch this session right now. And if you're joining me a little bit late, we're going to discuss today how you can generate not just leads, but good leads, good quality leads without breaking your bank account. Okay, one of the ways that we're going to do this is we're going to use Facebook Marketplace. There's other things that may seem kind of old school, like Craigslist. You might think, well, that's like 2000s, but that still works. It's a place where people still go. But first of all, let's focus on Facebook Marketplace. And we're going to focus on the words that come out of your mouth. Starting with Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the modern classified section. What we like about Facebook Marketplace, of course, it's free, but it has wide reach because everybody is on Facebook. And when you get a lead, you're getting their real information. Now, I know some of you would say, well, they actually could go in and they could change. Now, this is the profile that they set up. It's their real name, their real phone number. So these are real leads. It's not just the media that may be your issue. By media, I mean the method of you delivering your marketing message to your audience or to your target. Probably what's a bigger issue for you is the message or the offer that you're making. So if you're offering the same things that other agents are offering, if you're saying to buyers, I can get you access to the homes that are on the internet, right? I can get you daily updates to MLS properties. If you're saying to sellers, I can give you a free home evaluation, let's be honest. This is all information that the prospects can get on their own. Okay, we have to come to terms with the fact that buyers believe that they don't need a real estate agent to find a house. They have the internet. And so if your big offer to a buyer is, oh, I'm going to provide you great service and I'm going to get you access to the homes that are on the MLS, which means internet to them, and I'm a great negotiator, that offer falls on deaf ears. I mean, I know that's what you've been taught to do, but if you're doing that, honestly, if that is your big offer, it doesn't really matter where you're making the offer. You know, your experience might be, well, nothing's working for me, Craig. Facebook isn't working, Google isn't working, my print advertising, my mailers, nothing's working. That's because we need to fix your offer. So see if you agree with this. Wouldn't it be better if you were to offer something that buyers and sellers really, really wanted, but they couldn't get it anywhere else? They can't get it on the internet, and they can't get it from any other real estate agent. This is the type of marketing that I want to introduce you to today. And it will cost you $0 because you're going to be promoting this on media like Facebook Marketplace or free on Craigslist. There's other ways, including just the words that come out of your mouth. How many of you would agree, first of all, if this is making sense, slam the thumbs up. Okay, smash the thumbs up button or maybe give me a little heart. Let me know if this is making sense. Okay, this approach. We can't be doing what we used to do. You're probably noticing it's becoming less effective and less effective. Now, many of you are doing business primarily just with people you know, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Obviously, that's the low-hanging fruit. So when I hear an agent say to me, well, 80% of my business comes from friends and family or from referrals from my sphere, what that tells me is here's a real estate agent that doesn't sell a lot of houses. I'm going to be totally honest here, folks. If you want to be super successful as a real estate agent, you must learn how to attract strangers. Of course, we're going to take all of our family, friends, past clients, we're going to take all that business. And if we have time here today, I'll show you how to do a better job getting referrals from your sphere of influence. But in addition to that, so don't stop doing what you're doing now, but in addition to whatever you're doing to get those referrals from your sphere of influence, imagine adding on Craig Proctor marketing that inexpensively enables you to attract buyers and sellers that really want to buy and sell. They're coming to you. So in Craig Proctor world, there would be no cold calling. Okay. In fact, if you really pay attention to what I'm teaching, there's no calling the leads at all. Okay. Here's the problem. They don't pick up the phone anyway. How many of you would agree it's very difficult to get your prospects to answer the phone? Let me know in the comments if that's your reality. Out of 100, if you bought Zillow leads or you bought Realtor leads or wherever you're getting your leads, you're cold calling, out of 100, how many do you actually reach on the telephone? Okay, not many. So the key then, if we can't get them to pick up the phone, obviously the key is we need to get the motivated buyers and sellers calling us. That way there's no chasing, right? We're talking inbound calls saying, hey, I'd like you to help me buy a house. How do you do that is your question. Well, I figured that out. That's how I became the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world within 36 months of having my real estate license. Many of you know the story. I started off, I didn't know anything about real estate, but I did understand marketing. I'd never sold anything in my life before, okay? I had no idea how the real estate business worked. I think that was to my advantage. I came in, I had no understanding of how real estate worked, but I understood how marketing worked. I looked at other industries outside of real estate, and I'm like, they're not cold calling, they're not door knocking. Could you imagine you're sitting at home and someone knocks on your door and you open the door and the person introduces himself and says, hey, I'm a divorce attorney, and I was wondering if you were thinking of getting a divorce. Can you imagine that? Are you thinking of getting a divorce? Do you think maybe in the future you might be getting a divorce? Do you know anybody, have any friends or family that are going through a divorce? I mean, it's ridiculous. And then all of this crap that they teach you as far as marketing and how to promote yourself, understand it's being promoted by people that have never made millions of dollars selling real estate like me. Let me repeat this again. Nobody within RE/MAX, no other agent in the world made as much money as I made. I sold over 10,000 homes. Now, you might be thinking, well, who cares? The reason I mention that is, look, if I want to play golf, I want to learn from someone that's actually a good golfer, not somebody that read about it in a book. Do you know some of the big coaches out there today have never even had a real estate license? Maybe you can tell me who that is in the comments. Who do you know that's a big name coach or trainer that's never had a real estate license, never sold a house, never had a buyer in their backseat, they've never negotiated offers till midnight? Here's why I can better help you, because I better understand you. Now, that's my credibility. Let's get back to how this works. So, you've got to fix your offer, okay? The words that come out of your mouth. You got to start offering stuff that buyers and sellers really want. Stop talking about, I'm going to represent your best interest. I'm a great negotiator. I can email you the listings that you can find on your own on Zillow or Realtor. That's not a good offer. That's something literally the buyer can do on their own, okay? It's the same offer that every other agent you're competing with is offering. And as far as, oh, I'm a great negotiator, I'm going to negotiate the best price. Here's what the buyers think today. They think, no. Now that I know who has the home listed, I could go around you, go directly to the listing agent, and I could negotiate a better deal without you. I'm not saying that's real or true. I'm saying that's what they think. Okay, that's what a lot of the buyers think is, I don't need an agent. Everything that you're saying to me, I can do that on my own. And when you're talking to sellers, really, you're talking about a CMA. They don't even know what that means, first of all. And if you're talking, why don't you just say, do you want to find out what your house would sell for? They can find that information out on their own. It's called the internet. Why don't you instead make an offer like, hey, would you like to know inexpensive things that you could do to sell your home for $8,000 to $10,000 more? Now, you guys all know what that is, right? That's something you do anyway when you meet with the seller. You would give them inexpensive things to do. Paint the walls, neutralize things, move the furniture around, do a little bit of landscaping. That's what you do. Instead of saying, I can get you information on what the houses on your street have sold for, which again, they can find on their own, why don't you change it up and say, I can get you a net sheet, okay? We can go through all the associated costs when you're selling your home, and I can help you to discover exactly what you're gonna net in your pocket after all the associated expenses, right? That's something that you would be offering that the seller can't get on their own, right? And it's not something the other agents are offering. So, gee, that passes the test, right? What did I say earlier? You got to start offering stuff that buyers and sellers really want that they can't get on their own, and it's not offered by other agents. So how do we do this for buyers? And by the way, what I'm about to tell you will attract buyers, but understand if you want listings, every seller, pretty much every seller, is a buyer first. Would you guys agree with that? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. That somebody that owns a house that wants to buy another house, very unlikely that they're going to stick a for sale sign on their front yard until they know where they're going to go next. So I'm going to repeat it again. The way to get listings is to attract the seller first as a buyer. So instead of us making this lame offer that we've all been taught to say, which would you like me to get you access to the MLS? I'm a great negotiator. I've lived in this city for 17 years. Instead of saying the same thing, what if you said this? What if you said to them, I can also get you access to unlisted and off-market properties? Now, forget about how to do it for a minute, because I know a lot of you are like freaking out. Oh, that's a pocket listing. We're not allowed to do this. No, it's not a pocket listing. I'm not talking about you hiding listings from MLS at all. I'm talking about the fact that I can teach you how to find your buyer a home that's perfect for them that's not listed on the MLS yet. Okay, so we're not breaking any rules. We're not hiding a listing. You know, what listing am I talking about? If you were the buyer and I said to you, not only can I get you access to the homes that are publicly available on MLS, which by the way, they can do on their own or through any other agent, here's the kicker, here's the key. But would you also like to get priority access to unlisted and off-market properties? Well, they would say, well, how does that work? Now, if you ran that ad for $0 on Facebook Marketplace, if you ran an offer, okay, that said, some of the best homes never make it to the open marketplace. They're never made publicly available. I can get you access to unlisted and off-market properties where literally you would be the only buyer that would know about these properties. So you're like, well, how do we do this? Well, we have specific target marketing that would go into the neighborhood that the buyer is looking for. So when the buyer responds to your ad on Facebook Marketplace that costs you $0, they would say to you, well, how does this work? How do you get me access? Or probably more likely, they're going to say, send me a list of the off-market properties. To which you're going to say, there ain't no list. I don't have a list. I don't have what you want. What I'm saying is I'm going to get you what you want. Can you see the difference? We're not advertising a house. We're not promoting a list of homes. We're offering a service. We call this the Craig Proctor VIP Home Finder Service. This is a unique service that only you offer. It's not offered by other real estate agents. So when they respond to your ad that you run for $0 on Facebook Marketplace and they say, well, how does this work? Here's what you're going to say. Simply tell me what you're looking for. Tell me the neighborhood, the price range, the features you're interested in. And we're going to use our specific target marketing. We're going to go out to that neighborhood and we're going to find a homeowner who has not yet listed their home for sale, but they're interested in selling. Now, you might be thinking, well, why would this seller do that? Why wouldn't they just list their house on MLS? Well, as you've noticed, the market has slowed down quite a bit. You've sold your house yourself. You know it's a hassle. They know it's a hassle. Think about this. This is almost like the Uber Eats for home selling, right? You're marketing directly to the home seller. You're bypassing MLS. You're going around the MLS. You've got the buyer, because I've showed you how to attract the buyer. We're going directly to the seller. You're going to go look at the seller's house. If it's a good match for your buyer, you're going to sell that home to your buyer. We'll show you how to get a commission agreement set up. It's not a listing. You're not listing it. It's not on the MLS, so you're not representing the seller in any way. You're representing your buyer. So again, you don't have to be freaked out about, oh, I'm doing something wrong. I'm breaking the rules. This is a pocket listing. None of that applies. Listen to Craig Proctor here. This is how we're doing it here. Now think about this. You get both ends on the buy end, and guess what? Once you find this buyer a home, you get their listing. What are we talking about here, folks? $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. These are the unique things that I teach real estate agents. What are you doing to make money? You're just trying to do the same thing as everybody else, but you're trying to work harder, right? What if this was true? Maybe it's easier to be different than it is to be better. Let me say it again. Maybe the key to success is just to go about things differently, just to be different versus than trying to be better or working harder with the same approach. If this is making sense, again, smash the like button. Okay, smash that blue thumbs up button. Maybe give me a little heart. Let me know that this is making sense to you. Okay, so this is what we want to coach you up on today. I want you to look at your offer and I want you to agree. Okay, let me know if you agree, maybe in the comments. Can you see how your offer, what you're offering the buyers and sellers, can you see it needs to be improved? Does that make sense? That we need to be offering something, number one, that they really, really want. And number two, they can't get it anywhere else except for you. They can't get it on the internet. They can't find it any other way. It's something other agents aren't offering. Let me give you a couple of other ideas here. New construction is an amazing opportunity all over the country as the interest rates went up. Do you know that thousands of new construction home buyers no longer qualified for the new home that they bought? How many of you are aware of that? Let me know in the comments. All over the country, new home builders have been stuck with thousands of homes that they have to liquidate. They have to get rid of these homes. Now, here's the predicament that the new home builders have. It's not like they can just cut the price, reduce the price of the homes, these half-built homes, and blow them out. They can't really reduce the price of the homes. Here's why. They're afraid if they reduce the new homes, that the people that just bought will no longer qualify because the other homes they sold will not appraise anymore. Plus, the people that just bought a few months ago would get mad. They would be upset that the same model they bought is now being offered by the builder at $50,000 or whatever less. So here's what the builders are doing. What the builders are doing is they're buying down the interest rate. Okay, they're buying down the interest rate. If you're familiar with that term, let me know in the comments. But back in the early 1980s, when interest rates were like 16, 17, 18%, to get a home sold, the seller had to buy down the interest rate. So this is the incentive that many of the builders are offering. They're buying down the interest rate. Now, if you sell new construction, I promise you this is the easiest transaction you're ever going to do. Okay? And it's the most attractive financing that you can possibly offer your buyer right now. If you are working with a builder that's offering 3, 4, 5% financing, this is the best financing you're ever going to find your buyers. Now, how easy is this? Let me know, folks, if you've ever worked with new construction before and you introduce your buyer to the home builder, you're out of it at that point. How easy is that? John and Susan, this is the builder. Builder, meet John and Susan. You've done the introduction. You're out of the transaction. I mean, you can hang around if you want to help them pick out colors and upgrades, but you are out. So how are we going to get these hot buyers? So the opportunity, on one side, we have the builders that are stuck with thousands of homes that are half built or complete. They're completed. They're just sitting empty. How are we going to take advantage of this opportunity? Well, we know a lot of buyers like new construction. How many of you would agree that new construction homes are a huge hot button? You know, like nobody's lived in the house before. You get to pick out all your colors. That's very attractive to a lot of buyers. So here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do, once again, is offer something that other agents aren't offering and offer something that the buyers can't get anywhere else. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to visit some of the new home builders in your city. And the first question you're going to ask, you're going to say, if I was to introduce buyers to you, Mr. or Mrs. Builder, would you protect me? In other words, would I get paid? Now, if they're not going to pay you, obviously you move on to the next builder. There's lots of builders. The builder, of course, is going to say, well, of course I would pay. I'm going to cooperate with agents. Now, here's how this is going to work. You're going to ask the builder for the floor plans and information of the top models that they have. So you might ask for the 2 or 3 top models, best-selling models that the builder has. Okay, now you're going to create this information package. And what you're going to do on Facebook Marketplace for $0, you're going to offer a list of new construction homes in your city. So your ad might say the 5 best builders or the 2 best floor plans from the 5 best builders. Okay, and it's an information package that you're going to send out to the buyers. Now, when the buyers come into you, you can register your buyers with the builders. What that means, if they buy a home through that builder, you're going to get paid. And we know that we're attracting really, really good buyers that have a high credit score. Most of them have a home for sale. So you're going to get paid on the buy-in when they buy new construction, but you're also going to list their backup property, the house they live in now. Now, let me ask you guys, does this make sense? Do you want to hang with Craig Proctor here? Is this the best stuff that you've heard in a long, long time? And I'm doing this presentation right now for $0 to all of you. This isn't costing me anything to give you this great advice. It's not costing you anything to receive it either. Now, that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Do you think this is a pretty good presentation? Do you feel that maybe I've accomplished a few things? You kind of get to know my personality, right? Hopefully you're thinking, Craig Proctor's got good stuff. He seems to really know what he's doing. He's got the credentials. He was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the world. He's helped 30,000 agents over the years make more money and have more time and have more freedom in their life. So I'm doing a presentation to you right now that's costing me $0. Let me teach you how to do this. You see, when you generate these leads, all these leads that I've talked about, what did we talk about? Making a unique buyer offer, making a unique seller offer, offering new construction. There's a whole bunch of wonderful ideas that I have that cost you $0. But here's the problem. What are you going to do when these leads come in? Let's say that you do everything that I've talked about here today and it works. You're like, oh my God, this works so well. I've got more leads coming in, and every day you get new leads. Here's what you're going to try to do. You're going to try to call them on the phone, right? You're going to try to call them on the phone. Anyone to tell me in comments what's going to happen there? You call them and you call them, and here's what you're going to say. If you can't reach them, you're going to come to the false conclusion, oh, these leads are no good. No, nobody said they're no good. It just means you can't reach them. You might even kid yourself into thinking, oh, they've missed my call. No, they haven't missed your call. People take their phone to the restroom with them. They take their phone to bed. They didn't miss your call. They just didn't take your call. So this is a major behavioral change in the way that the buyers and sellers are responding. The behavior of the prospects has changed. So not only has the real estate market changed, the interest rates are up, the market slowed down, we have technological changes, but we also have behavioral changes amongst the prospects that you and I are trying to reach. So let me give you the solution. Here's what I teach Craig Proctor members to do. There would be a series of emails and text messages that are designed by me. They're not lame messages. They're not like, hey, here's the stuff you wanted. No one's going to respond to that. You're not even asking them a question, not even asking them to respond. So there is a strategy for these automated emails and automated text messages. So we might send out 5 or 6 or 7 emails, and interspersed, I think that's a word, right? Interspersed in between the emails will be text messages. This is automated marketing, and here's why this is really important. If you were just trying to do this on the phone, as you know, it's futile, right? Because you're only reaching 1 or 2 out of 10. So here's what happens over and over again. Even if you're paying for leads, you're buying leads from Zillow or whatever, what you do is what a good salesperson should do, right? You go through all the leads and you spend your time with the people that are easiest to reach and the people that seem most motivated. That's what we all are doing, right? Except for here's the problem. It's very inefficient because you get busy with the 2 or 3 out of 100 leads that are easy to reach and are motivated, but the rest of the leads don't get followed up. They go stale. You set them aside. You don't have a plan, a long-term plan, or any automation in your business. So most of the efficiency is lost here. And then what do? Then you go out and you buy another 100 leads or another 1,000 leads, and you get the best ones and the rest are ignored, and you're busy out there doing your thing. And so we want to have automation in our business. So I'm talking about these great offers, and believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm not giving you everything here. I'm giving you a little bit to get you interested, right? That's what you're going to do with your prospects. You give them enough information to get them interested, and then they're going to contact you for more help. So here's the next thing we're going to do. You have a false belief. Now, I'm not saying this like I'm above you or anything, because I had the same false belief, right? Look, just like you, I got into real estate, and the natural thing we do is we look around at what everyone else is doing, and we figure, oh, that's the way you do it here. What you believe right now, what you've been taught to believe over the years, is you got to get a whole bunch of leads, right? Then you try to call the leads on the phone. And the reason you're calling the leads on the phone, you'll call hundreds of them and you'll reach 3 or 4 people. And the reason you're calling them, the hundreds of leads to get the 3 or 4 on the phone, is because you want to talk them into meeting with you so you can tell them how good you are, right? You want to talk them into meeting with you so you can give them your presentation. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do what I'm doing right now with you? I'm giving you a presentation right now, and it's a really good presentation. You like this presentation. What did I accomplish? You get to know me, hopefully like me, hopefully you think, well, Craig's somebody that could really help my business. So I've made a presentation to you on video, but you and I haven't talked on the phone. I'm not sitting at your kitchen table. I didn't have to call hundreds of real estate agents to get you folks to watch this. Okay, and this will be viewed by thousands of realtors. But you could do this. Let me teach you how to record your buyer benefits and your seller benefits. Now, right away, we could email your little video with whatever you would say to a buyer or seller, although maybe I could help you do better with that, what you would say if you were face to face with a buyer or seller, but whatever that best presentation is. Imagine if you were at a kitchen table right now and you're in front of somebody that wants to list their home. What would you say? Now, I know you think you have to be at the kitchen table to tell them what you do and what makes you different and better, but you don't. This is how you're going to get to more kitchen tables. Right now, I know in your CRM, you got a whole bunch of unconverted leads. Many of these people you've never spoken to before. You couldn't reach them. What if I coach you up on how to create a highly effective video that explains, it's like, hey, here's who I am. This is what I do. This is what makes me different and better. Whatever those best things that you would say if you were face to face with the buyer or seller, we can now record your presentation. Think of what we've accomplished just on our meeting here today, folks. I have proved to you that we can attract really good buyer and seller leads for $0 by running the right offers on Facebook Marketplace. When the leads come in, we're going to have a series of automated emails and text messages that do the heavy lifting for you. They do the answering, the sifting, and the sorting. Now we can send by email or text your presentation, your benefits presentation. Do you know how many more people would see you and understand who you are and what you do and what makes you different and better if we could just record it and push it out to all of the leads in your database? Then we could teach you how to go onto social media just like me. Here's my strategy. What I do several times a week is I just offer real estate agents really good information. That's right. The easiest way for me to prove to you that I can help you is just to actually help you. So I create training like this for $0 to help real estate agents get to know who I am and understand what this is about. But you could do the same thing. Think of all of the different interesting topics that you could be discussing that you could push out to your local community using social media. Now, I know some of you are like, well, I don't like video. I don't like the way I look. I don't like the way I sound. Guys, this is how you show up at the house, right? Like, think about it. Oh, I can't go on video. I don't like the way I look. I look old or I look fat or whatever. But this, you're just seeing yourself on video. Look, I don't like watching my videos either. We all kind of like not like the way we look in here. It's like a normal thing. But get over that. If you want to be successful, you got to understand, well, this is how I present myself face to face anyway, right? If I show up at their house, sit in the kitchen table, this is how I look. We've got to learn to be more comfortable and more confident with ourselves. Now, how do you do that? By just doing video. In the beginning, yeah, it's going to be awkward. You'll probably suck a little bit in the beginning, but you want to know how you get better? By continuing to do it over and over and over. And pretty soon, you'll be just as natural on the camera as you are sitting at their house at the kitchen table. Now, this whole thing about you being nervous about, I don't know what to say. How many of you would agree in the comments? Do you think you know more about the subject of buying or selling real estate than your prospects? Like, honestly, what are we nervous about here? You know a hell of a lot more about the subject of buying and selling real estate than they do. If it was the opposite, I could say, well, you might be nervous because they know more than you, but that's not the case. What I want you to do, here's some homework today. Or maybe you could even start by typing into the comments. What could you talk about if you were to create a video today and push it out to your sphere of influence, everyone that follows you? And I'll teach you how to do a better job of this, by the way. Like, the bigger your sphere is, the more referrals you're going to get. Type into the comments, what kind of topic do you think would be of interest to your prospects? Here's a good way to look at it. think about all the questions that prospects normally ask you, buyers and sellers ask you. So, they might ask you, well, how do I get the best interest rate, the best financing when I buy? They might say, how do I buy a home when I already have a home? They might ask you, how do I pick a real estate agent? What are the biggest mistakes when selecting a real estate agent? You might talk about how to pass a home inspection. You might talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that local home buyers make and how to avoid them, or the top 7 mistakes that home sellers make. You know the questions that they ask you, right? So Jose says how to buy with little or no money down. So you already know really good topics. So I want you to start creating content. Now think about this. So right now, let's say that you're getting 80% of your business from your sphere of influence, right? But your sphere of influence isn't that big, right? Maybe your sphere of influence is 50 people or 100 people or 500 people. That's the great thing with social media. What I'm going to help you do is make your sphere of influence bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I know what you're thinking. These people, they're not you're not your friends, your relatives, or they're not past clients. But can you see what I'm doing here today? How many of you already feel like in the time we've spent here, we've been on this for about a half an hour now, but how many of you kind of get this sense that you feel like you know me a bit better? Now, I know for many of us, we haven't met, right? We haven't talked on the phone, but do you see how this works? Now, understand, now that you've watched this video that we're hosting right now on my business page on Facebook, Facebook automatically pixels everyone that watches it. So you've been pixeled. Now, some of you know this because you've watched some of my prior content, and all of a sudden, you start seeing Craig Proctor everywhere on your phone. You start seeing me everywhere. How many of you, let me know if that happened to you? It's like, I didn't even know who Craig Proctor was. I started watching his stuff, and I kind of liked it. Now, all I see in my news feed is I see Craig Proctor, I see Craig Proctor, I see Craig Proctor. Well, that's on purpose. So over the last few years, I have 300,000 realtors that have watched my stuff. So they've been pixeled. So if I like this video today, if I think this is a pretty good one, which I do, I can push this out as a paid ad to everyone, all 300,000 realtors that have watched Craig Proctor's prior stuff. But you can do the same thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to coach you up on how to create really good content. Creating the video like I'm doing today, $0. Running the ads on Facebook Marketplace, $0. Sending out the follow-up emails and text messages, $0. What would be holding you back on this approach? Now, if you're skeptical, I can give you thousands of real estate agents that I work with right now here today. Many of the top real estate agents in North America are my clients. I just met with them last week. We had a big meeting, and there were many in the room that are making over $1 million every month. You heard that right. I got lots of them, thousands of them that make over $1 million a year, but I got some of them that are making $1 million per month. So, $12 million, $14 million in GCI. If that kind of freaks you out, that's not intended. That's all, I'm just letting you know. I have also lots of agents that have humble beginnings, right? They're selling 5 or 10 or 20 homes a year, and they're trying to figure this business out. In fact, all those superstars I just mentioned, they came to me, most of them really struggling in their business, just like many of you. So it's really important that you get good advice. You don't whatever you're doing right now, let's face it, you've copied your approach from somebody, right? You didn't invent it. When you got into real estate, you copied some approach. Maybe it was another agent in the office. Maybe you did what your broker told you to do. Maybe you hired some other coach and they told you to knock on doors or cold call or buy leads from Zillow, whatever. But whatever you're doing, you didn't invent it. You copied it from someone else. So here's what I suggest. Why don't you just copy from somebody better? Since you're already copying your approach, whatever you're doing from someone else, why don't you copy someone that's really, really has been successful as a real estate agent, actually making millions of dollars a year, and somebody that also has been able to share how they made millions of dollars a year with thousands of other real estate agents, creating more millionaire real estate agents than any coach or trainer or guru out there. Well, you're in the right place because that's me, Craig Proctor. Now, I got a couple things here for you. First of all, again, if you haven't let me know what city you operate in, I'm not BSing you here. We have tons of referrals that are coming in, and we don't have agents in those marketplaces. So please type in the marketplace, the city that you serve. I don't get any part of it. We just want to refer agents to other agents like who get it, want to refer their buyers and sellers to people that have some experience in Craig Proctor methodology. So, the biggest battle you guys fight is obscurity. Don't be shy. Cost you $0. Type in your name and your city. Now, many of you have asked about my private Facebook group. So if you would like to hang out with agents that are using the Craig Proctor system for $0, not selling you anything here today. Remember, this is free. I have a private Facebook group that you can join for $0. Right now, presently, there's over 7,000 top agents inside my private Facebook group. The name of the private Facebook group is Rich Agent Secrets. And if you want to type if you want to be part of that, we'll send you an invitation. Just type into comments, private group. So do that right now. Type into the comments, private group, and I'll make sure my office sends you an invitation, and you'll start to learn what the top agents all over the country are doing. Now, why would I want to do that? Can anyone tell me in the comments, why would I want to invite you to a group where there's 7,000 agents successfully making all kinds of money using Craig Proctor? That's pretty smart, right? It'd be like if you had a prospect that was kind of skeptical about using you as a realtor, and you invited that prospect to a past client party where all the past clients loved you. That would help you convert these new leads, these skeptical people. Well, that's what I'm doing for you. I'm going to put you in a big room with a whole bunch of people that are making a lot of money with Craig Proctor. Doesn't cost me any money to invite you. Doesn't cost you any money to hang out there. What's the worst thing that can happen? You might be a little bit skeptical. I get it. Maybe you've bought a whole bunch of crap from other coaches and trainers. Maybe you've tried a lot of things and you're frustrated. Letting you know, guys, I'm the real deal. I hope you feel that. Okay? This is real. I have a track record that's not a made-up track record. My credentials in real estate are well documented and very public. I was the #1 RE/MAX agent in the entire world within 36 months of having my real estate license. It doesn't take 10 or 15 years to build your business. This can be done very quickly, provided you've got the right guidance. Now, for those of you that are totally serious about Craig Proctor, I'm going to offer you something, just if you're serious. If you're not serious about this, do not do what I'm about to say. But if you're serious, I want you to book a call with me and my team. Yep, a call where it's called a breakthrough call. We're going to have a look at your business. We'll ask you a bunch of questions. It'll be done on Zoom, and we're going to give you some free advice, just like I've done here today, on things that you can try to improve your business. Okay, now if someone could type into the comments below, proctorcall.com, no space, just like my name, proctorcall.com. Okay, I see someone's done that. That's the link, folks. Click on that link. See in the comments there, click on that link. It says book your free call, Team Craig Proctor. Schedule your 1v1, that stands for one-on-one call. Now, we need you to be in a quiet space for this and be on time. Like, don't book the appointment and not show up. Like, that's rude. Don't do that. I've got way too many agents that want my help. So if we've got our day timer open, if you don't intend on doing this, or if you're not serious about getting help with your business, please do not book the call. But if you want to get some great free advice and guidance from our team on how to make more money, how to work less, how to more freedom, why wouldn't you book the call? That's where all good things start. All good things start with a conversation, right? So go to proctorcall.com. If you click on that link, you'll go to my Acuity day timer and you'll see what days and times are available. You grab one of those spots. We have limited spots. Okay, when they're gone, they're gone. Now, I also have a huge conference coming up in Anaheim, California. I don't even have a website for it. I don't have like a sales page for it, but I'm going to have hundreds and hundreds of very serious Craig Proctor members there. If you guys are interested in getting information about my Anaheim conference, it's in April. It's coming up. It's a 3-day conference with me and hundreds of my top members. Type in conference. Just type in the word conference, okay? And we'll get you information on the upcoming conference. So I got a couple things for you, right? First of all, you can watch this over and over again. Okay, this is going to be posted on my business page. So you should be following this page. You should turn on notifications. You should go to Craig Proctor, turn on notifications, make sure you're following this, make sure you like this. Okay, if you like this, if you give me a little heart, you like this, you will be pixeled, okay, because you've interacted with this, and you'll start to get my stuff as soon as I go live. Yes, many of you are coming to the Anaheim conference. Obviously, this stuff is good, but what's even better is when we get together for 3 days. I just got back from one last week. It was awesome. So get yourself set up for a call with me at proctorcall.com. Okay, at a minimum, apply to be inside my private Facebook group, right? You're going to type in private group. We're going to get you an invitation so you get behind the curtain and you get to meet with the top agents, okay? And if you are interested, if you're in the California area or wherever, fly to wherever you need to be to get the best information. We've got the Anaheim conference coming up. Just type in the word conference and we'll get back to you with some information on that. Anyway, I better get back to work here. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this, smash the like button, give me a little heart, make sure you've dropped your city where you operate into the comments here. And you can also share this with other realtors. If you enjoyed this today and you know other real estate agents that you can think of that would benefit from my training, just share it with them. You can @ them or use the share button. Maybe you want to share it with your broker owner, right? Your broker wants to help all the agents inside your office in your company. But I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you found this extremely helpful, and we'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. This is Real Estate Coach Craig Proctor. This is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are 2 important things, and both are totally free. Number 1 is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.